Listen up, partners. This is Good, Bad, Ugly on World Improv Network.
Good evening, everyone. I am Alex, and I'm not going to introduce the rest of the counselors because we got a slew of them in the studio with us today for two reasons. A, it's the 100th Win Show. Yeah. Yeah. And B, and the questions that are coming at us today are so important that we need more help. We need more Dr. Drews in here. So we're going to get right at it. Our first winner is Melinda from Denver, Colorado, right here. And she writes, Dear Win, in lieu of 420 coming up, do you think it is time for Colorado pot reform, given everything that has transpired since it was legalized in 2013? What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, I think this was all just a big mistake. You know, it was a fun ride while we had it, but I mean, let's be honest. We got people operating heavy machinery. We got people buying more snacks than have ever been purchased. You know, I go into 7-Eleven at midnight and there's nothing available because all these stoned people have eaten all the snacks. You know, it's not good. Repeal.
Okay.
Repeal.
Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that to a certain extent. The edibles have really gotten out of control, especially if you have families. I have a couple really close friends that live in Highlands Ranch, and they like to eat edibles right on the coffee table, and little toddlers like to wander right up there and eat them. And so now we have a bunch of stoned first graders. It's really great.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I think you're probably onto something there, Dave. And of course, Asa, you seem pretty adamant about it. I think what needs to be done is stop dropping pots out of the sky and hitting people on the head with it. That must hurt. All right, well, we're going to move on to our next winner, and that's Roxy from Austin, Texas. And she writes, Dear Win, actress Gwyneth Paltrow recently stated that she would rather smoke crack cocaine than eat cheese out of a can. What do you guys think of that?
I think I want to party with Gwyneth. That sounds really fun.
You know, that's very good advice there, Chris.
Like, I don't see the bridge. Like, that's her option. That's her alternative. Like, oh, gosh, I can't eat canned cheese, so fire it up.
You know, I feel like we're missing out on the connection between the two. When I smoke crack cocaine,
Which
usually,
is often.
yeah, it usually leads to me wanting to eat canned cheese.
But you smoke organic crack cocaine, right, Colin?
I do,
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Whole
yeah.
Foods? Whole
yeah,
Foods?
Whole Foods brand crack cocaine.
Right.
And it's the best. You know, that Trader Joe's stuff,
No.
not the same.
No, that's like, that's like,
Not the same.
that's comparing a Hyundai to a Porsche. It's just not the same.
Yeah, it's like comparing an Audi to a Subaru.
Right.
You really can't
No,
because they're two different vehicles.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to say, Roxy, that, obviously the canned cheese thing is, I think that she's talking about getting off that crack cocaine. Getting off that canned cheese by smoking crack cocaine. That's what Gwyneth is really talking about. She's trying to make that hard, addictive transition like Lil Wayne with his waffles and syrup. She wants to get off the cheese whiz.
Y'all act like crack is so bad.
Crack ain't all that bad. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what's going on there. And we're going to move on to our next winner. Our next winner is Katrina from Minneapolis, Minnesota. She writes, Dear Win, I'm a hot, nerdy girl who loves Comic-Con, Magic the Gathering, and rocks.
Move to Denver.
A good idea. Well, sometimes I feel weird about being obsessed with these things, given my physical appearance. What should I do? Well, Chris already said move to Denver. What do you think there, Tones?
Katrina, you are looking at a very good situation here. I mean, you've got like your pick of the buffet. You go to, Comic-Con, one of these nerdy things. None of these guys will ever find like a girl outside of that. This is your time to just like pick your fixer-upper and like marry him or date him or whatever you want to do. Like,
what do you think a fixer-upper is, though? I mean, come on, Dave. You got to give me some more information specifically. Like, give me a description. What is a fixer-upper?
Fixer-upper, pretty much if a grown man's playing Magic the Gathering with other grown men, he needs to learn to socialize with other people. So, like, you could train him and have, like, a she's all that kind of moment, except with, like, a nerdy dude.
Uh-huh. All right. Okay. What do you think?
Well, I'm concerned with Katrina's concern about her physical appearance. I mean, I once went to a state fair and I witnessed a 5-legged horse.
Right.
And
is this a 4-H thing?
No, but between that and if you don't look like the Incredible Hulk, I mean, everything is perfect in between.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so So basically, she's. What do you think she is? The Incredible Hulk, or do you think she's the five-legged horse?
I would steer towards the five-legged horse on physical appearance, just for my own preferences.
For the mere fact that she is bragging how good-looking she is, and therefore preferencing, why should I be, ashamed for liking Comic-Con, Magic Gathering, and rocks?
Yeah, she shouldn't be ashamed if she has an extra leg.
Well, maybe she'd be good at digging up rocks then with that extra leg.
Yes, the rocks would be good.
Or kicking the fixer-uppers in the you-know-what, with that fifth leg.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you ever been with some woman like that, Tom?
I'd rather not talk about it on the show, but yes.
Okay, well then let's talk about it.
I'm kind of flustered at the moment.
Well, we'll give you time here. Why don't we have the Jeopardy counter go down here, and Tom, you just compose your thoughts. Tell us a little bit about that five-legged horse that you were with.
Well, she was really cute. She was out there in the field, and I got on her to gallop, and she tripped, and that fifth leg made her trip, and her lips landed on mine.
Oh man!
And ever since then, it's kind of been a little bit of an animal love sensation when I see people like horses, and I've always wanted to meet a woman with 3 legs, so I'm hoping it'll happen.
Hey, there's always hope for you, Tom. There's got to be a 3-legged girl out there. Have you ever seen Total Recall? The woman in that movie.
Yes, I was watching Total Recall, and I started crying because that scene of that woman with the 2 heads, it just turned me on and turned me off at the same time.
Oh, Tom, it's great that you've come out on the air and explained this traumatic incident you had. I hope there's healing in store, maybe with you and Katrina both.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next winner then, and that's Dustin from Seattle, Washington. He writes, Dear Win, what's the best way to convince my wife to perform more creative sexual acts during times of intimacy? Jimbo, I know you want to jump on this one. I can see it in your face.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think at a base level, you just got to work on her fundamental creativity there, Dustin. If she's under 30 years old, get her some psychedelic mushrooms, scientifically proven to expand your creativity. If she's over 30 years old, people get set in their ways. It's going to be a little harder. But I would suggest every morning, take 15 minutes and just some free-form writing about sex and possible things you can do, maybe, like positions, or just even throw it out with some just weird animals or something, and let her brain go to work and see what comes out.
Is this like a written Kama Sutra within some illustrations, or what are you thinking?
No, it's more just to stimulate her own creativity.
A diary.
Yeah, because it sounds like more than anything, she's just a bland person.
Okay.
So you need to bring her inner dominatrix out, or whatever it is you're into, Dustin.
Huh.
Not speaking about myself there at all.
Not at all. Not remotely. Ace, what do you think?
I would suggest, right now it sounds like Jim is advocating for a more solitary method. When you take mushrooms, you're going on your trip. I would say take an improv class.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it is also scientifically proven that working with a group in a safe, comfortable setting can be conducive to creative juices.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that this could lead to some, Dustin, just be open to the bedroom situation and who's in there now, or how many are in there.
I have heard, matter of fact, I know a couple improv guys. You're referring to improv comedy, right?
Yeah, all the jazz, all the improvs.
That's pretty cool.
But take a improv class.
Okay, so any one of the improvs is cool. Improv, jazz, improv. Either way, I just would love to be able to do that someday, because I know some really cool cats that do improv comedy. They're absolutely hilarious and good looking. And I'm absolutely
probably great lovers.
And
some of them like to be whipped.
That's it. You're not saying it by yourself, Jim.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, not at all. You wouldn't say it. You know what, Dustin, very simply, I would waterboarding. It's that simple. Waterboard her till she gives in, and then all of a sudden creativity starts to show through. And we got one more little piece of inspiration, get you through the rest of the week. Not waterboarding, but Horoscope Corner.
love, fortune, status. Let us do your astrological chart. Horoscope Corner on World Improv Network.
Hey, there, all you Ophiuchuses out there. The world tries to tell you you don't exist, but we here at the World Improv Network believe you do. So you can support us by going to the World Improv Network Facebook page. Give us a like. Check us out on YouTube, the World Improv Network. Subscribe, like some videos. You can check us out on iTunes. We have a podcast. Leave a review, leave some stars. You can check us out also on Twitter at World Improv Net. You can send us suggestions. We'll use that stuff in the show. And you can check us out, of course, every week, Sunday nights, 8 p.m. right here, AM 1340 Mile High Sports Radio. And we won't forget you, Ophiuchus.
Thanks for listening to Win on Mile High Sports Radio. Don't forget to be a winner and interact with the cast by sending your suggestions or questions for each show segment throughout the week by hitting them up on Facebook at World Improv Network, on Twitter at World Improv Net, or by calling into the Mile High Sports Radio studio line on Sundays before or during the show. See you next week.